Lessons. Today's topic is numbers, which is one of the most basic and important topic of mathematics. So let us start from the beginning. Let us talk about digits. So digits are symbols. These symbols are used to make numerals and further numbers. So digits are just the numbers, and in different systems we can have different type of symbols. For examples, we are going to talk about few most commonly used numeral systems where different type of digits are there. That means these digits or these symbols are used to make various type of numerals. First, if we talk about binary numeral system, or even if we can say binary number system, binary means only two. So we will be having 0 and 1. By using this 0 and 1, we will be making all the possible numbers. And similarly, we can have octal numeral system where we have 8 digits. By word octal, we can understand there are 8 digits. Similarly, decimal, which is most commonly used, which is 0 to 9, total 10 digits. Similarly, we have hexadecimal, and Roman numeral system is also quite popular. So I, V, X, L, C, D, M, these are the popular or more used digits or the symbols to make Roman numbers. So let us talk about numerals. So numerals are anything, either a single digit or combination of digits are called numerals. So even letters can also be called as numerals when they are representing something. We'll talk about some examples, then you will understand more. So 007 is a numeral and it is made of three digits, 0, 0 and 7. Similarly, FORTY, it is also a numeral, which is actually talking about 40. Similarly, VII is a numeral, which is actually representing 7. So, numerals are representation of numbers. So, if I say 40 is a numeral, which is representing number 40. So, here, if we talk about numbers, so we will say that any representation of numerals to indicate magnitude of a quantity. That means when we are using the numbers, we are using the numerals, and we are using those numerals to represent something, or to point out something, or to indicate something. That is how we say that numbers are used to indicate some magnitude of any quantity. And if there is no such use, then we can call them as numerals. So for examples, 007 is a numeral that represents a number 7. 40 is a numeral that represents number 40. So all three examples which we saw in previous case also, all three are numerals, but they are representing something in the numbers. They are representing the numbers. So let us talk about some special groups of the numbers. So let us start with natural numbers, which is also represented by n for natural. So since the beginning, people started counting things whatever they possessed. So it is like counting numbers. So the numbers which are used for counting since the beginning, that is how we call them as natural number. They naturally came to us, and it was used in counting. That is why we say that is why we say them as natural numbers. So we can say that whenever we are counting anything, we start with 1. So 1, 2, 3. So we are talking about things in full shape. So we don't have any fraction here as of now. We are only talking about full values starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to infinity. So group of these numbers starting with a and with the interval of 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to infinity, is called as natural numbers because they were used to count the objects. Next group of numbers we can say is whole numbers, which is represented by W. So whole number is a group of numbers where we included 0 with the all the natural numbers. So in natural numbers we use for countings, we were not counting anything as 0, but when we added 0, we found the group which completed the positive sense. That means whatever we have, we are counting, it can be 0 as well as 1 2 3 4 5. If it is 0, that means we don't have anything. If it is 1, we have one quantity of a particular objects. So if we add 0, that shows that we do not have any value or the neutral value. In that is why it is making the whole number set. So that is why we are saying it as whole numbers, completing the set of all positive integer numbers. Next thing, we are going to talk about a special type of group which is called integers. In integers, whatever the whole numbers we have taken, we are going to take negative of those numbers as well. Although we cannot take like negative of 0 and positive of 0, both are same thing only, because 0 is neutral thing, neither negative nor positive. That is why 0 is the center point, and from both sides, positive sides, we have all the positive numbers. On the left side we have all the negative number. So integers are the negatives of natural numbers as well as and 0, including 0. So we can say that a set of 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 plus minus 3 and so on. So in the form of natural number, we can write that 0 and positive natural number and negative natural number. So all these numbers are part of integers. Various other combinations are also possible within the integers. If we say that positive integers, if we use this term saying that we are using positive integers, that means we are not including anything which is not positive. We are not even including 0 also, which is neither positive nor negative. And along with that, we are not including negative numbers. So that is why we can say that all the positive integers will start with 1 and will go up to positive infinity, 1 2 3 4 and so on. Similarly, we can define negative integers. Negative integers are all the negative natural numbers. Similarly, we'll say non-negative integers. Here we will include all the whole numbers. So non-negative integers are nothing but the set of whole numbers, where we are having all the positive natural numbers as well as 0, making it as whole numbers. In next example, we can say non-positive integers. Non-positive, that means anything which should not be positive. So there it can be a neutral or negative. So same as the above case, where we are including 0 and all the other negative numbers. So we can say that 0 and negative of all the natural numbers are considered as non-positive integers. Similarly, we can define another term which is non-zero integers. So which is quite clear by the name itself. All the integers which are not 0. So we have only one 0 in this set of integers. We are removing that 0 and we are getting all the other positive as well as negative numbers as the set of non-zero integers. So it will be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 and so on up to from negative infinity to positive infinity, excluding the 0. Okay, so let us move forward. There is another important type of numbers which is called fractions. So fraction is anything a part of something. Fraction means a part of something. So that is why, like whenever we are saying there is something that is not complete, then we will use the fractions. For examples, if I have one watermelon, I have cut that watermelon and given the half portion to someone. So I will say that I have made two parts out of one watermelon. Okay, each half I got, so one half I have given to my friend. So I have given one part of the full or whole part, whole watermelon. So I have given half of the whole That means we'll say one part of the two parts, because I made two parts and out of those two parts I have given one to my friend. So 1 out of 2. I am also having 1 out of 2. That we are saying as half, because 1 by 2 is half. So fraction is anything where something is not complete or whole. It is uh, it it is having some parts, and those parts are not complete. Okay, for example, you are getting marks in your test or exams. So whenever you are making mistakes, your marks are cut. So you are not getting full marks, you are getting part of those full marks. For example, out of 10, suppose you are getting 9. That means we are saying that you are getting 9 parts out of total 10 parts. That is how we define the fraction as 9 out of 10, and we call it as 9 by 10. So that is a fraction. We can take few examples as 3 parts of 7 parts. Suppose I have 7 bottles. Suppose I have kept some 7 water bottles, for example, and I have taken out 3 water bottles out of that. And in that case I will say that I have taken 3 out of 7. So 3 out of 7 is also called as 3 by 7, and it is a fraction. So 3 by 7 is a fraction. We have talked about 1 by 2 already. So I hope you understand. Let us move forward. The types of fractions. So depending upon the parts out of the whole number, we will talk about different types of fraction. Proper fraction, by meaning itself, something which is actually proper. That is how we will say that when numerator. Okay, let us talk about numerator itself. Numerator is the top part of the fraction, and the denominator is the bottom part. That means the part is considered in numerator and the whole is considered in denominator. So we will say, for any fraction, we'll say that numerator out of denominator, or numerator of by denominator. So when the numerator is less than denominator, that means when the upper part is less than the lower part in the fraction, then it is a proper fraction. For proper fraction, for example, 2 by 3. So here we are saying 2 parts out of 3. So it is a proper fraction because numerator is 2 and denominator is 3, and our numerator is less than the denominator. So that is how we will say it is a proper, because this fraction is defined to measure something which is not complete out of any full thing. So when this definition is properly following, then we will say it is a proper fraction. For example, I have 5 balls. So why I will say proper? Because I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 out of the whole available balls. So that is why we are saying proper, because I cannot take 6 out of 5, because there are only 5. I cannot take 6. So that is why the another type of fraction, which is called improper fraction, where we are taking out more than the available part. For example, I have 5 balls which I am telling. uh, Suppose I am having 5 balls and I am taking 6 balls out of that, but that is not actually possible. But still, to represent that number, in mathematics we talk about numbers only, so at least we can represent that. So we will say that 6 out of 5 can be written as 6 by 5, where numerator is 6 and denominator is 5, and numerator is greater than the denominator. So this type of fraction which is not proper, and we are saying this type of fraction as improper fractions. Let us talk about another type, which is mixed fraction. Here we are talking about a combination of a proper fraction and a whole number. Combination in the sense the addition. So A whole number, anything which is not fraction, and any other proper fraction. For example, 1 by 2, 3 by 5. So you are aware of this proper fraction already, where numerator is less than the denominator. So when we combine these two things like whole number and one proper fraction, by combining this we get the mixed fraction, because we are getting the mixed term. That is why we are saying that mixed fraction, because fraction is also there and whole number is also there. So let us see few examples. 2 by 3 is proper because 2 is less than 3, numerator is less than denominator. 2 by 1 is improper because 2 is bigger than the denominator, which is 1. And third one, uh, it is 3 and 1 by 2. So we are saying that 3 is added to 1 by 2. That means we have 3 as whole number and 1 by 2 is our fraction, which is proper fraction. When we are adding it, we are saying that we have 3 whole part and 1 half part. That means we are having total 3 and half. So these are the examples for type of fractions. Now let us talk about another group of numbers, rational numbers, which is represented by q. So any number which can be expressed as a fraction or a quotient, or we can say as p by q form, then it is called rational number. In that p by q form, q should not be 0, or q is actually not 0, and p and q both are co-prime numbers. Co-prime numbers are something which do not have any common factor except 1. That means those two numbers p and q should not be divided by any other number than 1. That means they will not have any common factor. So that is how we can say that any number which can be represented in the form of p by q, where q is not 0 and p and q both are co-prime numbers, then we will say it is a rational number. For example, if I talk about a number 3, 3 can be written as 3 by 1 as a improper fraction, 3 by 1. So here p is 3 and q is actually 1, because for any full number we can write any number, whether it is a full or even a decimal, we can write by 1 to any number. So similarly for -5 also, -5 by 1. So these two fractions are showing the rational number p by q form, where p is 3 and -5 and q is 1 in both. So that is how these two numbers are example of rational numbers. Another example we can talk about is 2 by 3, which is also a rational number. 0.87, 0.87, if we remove that decimal, so there are two digits after decimal, so we will put 100 in the denominator. So 87 by 100 can also be called as rational number, because it can be written in the p by q form. P is 87 and q is 100. So any number which can be represented in the form of p by q, q is not 0 and p and q both do not have any common factor. So that is how we can say we have the rational numbers. Now let us move to the irrational number. Irrational is opposite of rational. Rational, by word itself we can say that anything which is logical, which make sense. On the other hand, irrational is anything which is opposite of rational. So any number which cannot be expressed as the fraction or quotient p by q form is called irrational. So we have few examples, like square root of 2. So when we find the value of square root of 2, we do not get this type of p by q form. So that is why we can say that it is a irrational number. Similarly, we have special number, natural exponential number, which is e. And similarly we have another example, pi. So these are the special numbers which are example of irrational number. We will be talking about them in our coming videos. So we have talked about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, different type of integer numbers, fractions, rational numbers, irrational numbers. So all these numbers combined, if we combine them, we get real numbers. So real number is the sum of all the numbers, be it rational or irrational. So all the integers, all the whole number, natural number, they are they come in the real numbers. So if we see this figure, you can see that when we talked about natural numbers only, we only talked about positive counting numbers starting with 1 2 3 4 and so on. So there we only had the limited available numbers in that particular set. When we added 0 to it, it became whole number. That is why we have this pink circle representing natural numbers, and the other bigger circle represents the whole numbers, because it includes natural number as well as 0 along with it. Okay, similarly if we talk about integers, so by taking 0 and positive and negative of all the natural numbers is included in integers, so we can get the integers. Similarly, all the integers, whole numbers and all the other places, this blue portion represent the fractions. So all those numbers are actually combined to be called as rational numbers. So here in the circles, the natural number circle, whole number circle, integer circle, and the other area which is shaded blue, those that area is used for fractions. So all the fractions and the full numbers combined we can say as rational numbers, and along with that we have also have irrational numbers. So sum of rational and irrational number is called as real numbers. So this combined green color and this blue and the circles inside it are combined. The combination is called as real number. Now let us talk about the other type, imaginary number, which is can be represented as I. So by name itself and the word itself, we can understand that these numbers are imaginary number. That means we are imagining them. They are not actually present in reality. All the numbers which were present in reality, we called them as real numbers. So real numbers were the numbers which are actually found in the nature in some or other form. In any sense, we will find some value of those numbers. But there are some numbers which are not actually found in nature. They are called as imaginary number. That means there are chances that those numbers can be defined, but they are not real, they are imaginary. So there is a special term used for that. uh, we use I is a special number, you can say. It is called iota, I for iota, which has the value as root over minus 1 or square root of minus 1. When we do the square of I, we get minus 1. So we are getting square as negative value, which is not real, because for any real number, if we make the square, we will always get positive number, either 0 or always positive. It cannot be negative for any real number. But for imaginary number, if we do the square of any imaginary number, we will be getting a negative number. So that is how they are complementary of real numbers. So in real numbers, we have the square of any real number is positive. Here we have the square of any imaginary number as negative. So I has the value as root over minus 1, and when we multiply 2I, then we get the value as minus 1. So it is a special type of numbers which is used in higher classes mathematics. You will be getting to know. Now let us talk about complex number. Complex number is the combination of real and imaginary number. So we are actually progressing step by step towards the bigger set. So complex numbers are the bigger set. It is represented by C. It includes the combination of real as well as the imaginary number. So whenever we are making a combination in terms of adding or then we are actually getting the complex number. So C is actually R, which is for real number, plus minus, or I for imaginary number. So C can be represented like that. So examples 3 plus 2i. Here 3 is real number and it is added with 2i. That means 2i, twice of iota. Value of I have already told, which is root over minus 1. So it is an imaginary number. Next example, we are having 7 minus 6i. Here also we are having 7 as real number and it is we are subtracting 6i out of it. So these are few examples and very easy and basic definitions for your understanding. Once again, you should be understanding this figure. Here we are saying that if we talk about all the numbers, we have made the groups for them. So all the counting numbers which were used for counting, we call them as natural numbers, which is the smallest set in this particular picture. Smaller set means less numbers are there as compared to the other set. If we add 0 to it, we get whole. It's like when we had the natural numbers, we are adding 0, so we got something as complete set. So that is why we are saying as whole set. That means a complete set for positive numbers. So there we are having a 0 and all the natural numbers in whole numbers. Next thing is integers. So in integers, we have 0 along with all the natural numbers and the negative of natural numbers also. So next is in our next step in the integers, we are including the negative numbers also, negatives of all the natural numbers. So that is how we are increasing towards the bigger group of numbers. Started with the natural numbers, then whole numbers, and now integers. Similarly, we are moving to the rational numbers, and doing so we learnt about fractions. So along with the integers, we have so many fractions. Integers can also be converted into fractions by putting by 1 as denominator into that. So that is how we have all the numbers which can be represented in the form of fractions or quotients as p by q, where q is not 0, and we call them as rational number. So opposite of rational is irrational, which the numbers which are the numbers we cannot represent them represented which cannot be represented in p by q form. So by combining rational and irrational, we are getting the bigger set or bigger group, which is called real numbers. And along with the real numbers, we also have its complementary. Okay, so like it is opposite of real numbers. So same as the opposite of real rational number is irrational. Similarly, we have the opposite of real number as imaginary number. So by combining them, we are getting as complex number. So complex number is the biggest group, we can say, in that we have real number as well as imaginary numbers. So two main segregation. If we go further down in the real numbers, we can have rational numbers, we can have irrational numbers. Okay, and if we go further down into rational numbers, we can have integers, whole numbers, natural numbers. Okay, so that is how we can say that these are the grouping done for the number for our use. So these are the set which are defined for our convenience. So for example, I only want to use some particular type of numbers, that is why I have made a group. So I hope you understood about the numbers. It is very basic thing in the mathematics. So I hope you like it. So if you like it, then please share, uh, like, and comment, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching.